Okay, Anders, we're here today to talk about a new entry to the Blackfin line, which looks like it's going in at the lower end. Is that an apt description of what you're doing?
I think so. I think it gives an entry at least. What we are doing here with the new Blackfin generation, it's actually a Blackfin called BF50X family. And what we're doing here is we're addressing a market which probably we haven't been at before. This market really is a space where the integration level is in front seat. So it's a mixture of 400 megahertz performance, 12-bit ADC, and a large amount of on-chip flash. This, of course, allows us to address spaces which we haven't been able to address before.
And are you doing this with talking to your existing customers? Are you bringing new customers on board? And what have you got to do to attract new customers in?
So I think there's a couple of dimensions in this. This device, this family of devices, is really geared towards the motor control, the advanced power space, where you're switching a power switch. And of course, we are talking with the tier 1 customers in the world, making sure that our development has gone on the right way. Secondly, we want to make sure that from a tool perspective, that we actually are covering the right longer tail of customers from our side. And I think one example here is our tools, which for sure is, this is an easy kit, which highlight what we actually are doing towards the longer tail of customers. This easy kit is available today and really allows our customers to evaluate the Blackfin 50X family all through, let's say, the complete signal chain. With this tool, it's a $199 tool. And we also, with this tool, offer a $150 emulator. Now you have a complete tool chain for the complete customer base to get them evaluating Blackfin.
Are you selling those direct, or are they going through the distribution chain?
Actually, both. It's going through the distribution for, let's say, the more longer tail of customers. It's also orderable online. So we have different flavors of business models depending on who customers want to get our tools.
One of the highlights of this introduction is the inclusion of an ADC in the package. You've gone for a system in package for this. What's the advantage of going that route?
Yeah, so basically the main advantage on the system in package or multi-chip moduling is because we want to embrace the value which we're bringing from our analog dimension. I mean, we are the leaders in the analog circuitry, so the analog converter interface side. We want to make sure that we have the right converter aligned with our 400 megahertz Blackfin. To do that in embedded technology would have been very difficult. So now we're really bundling together these two dimensions of interface and core performance. But of course also we need to package in the right level of flash. And this is kind of their selection why our methodologies were selected to be these multi-chip module.
Okay. And the 3 devices you're launching today, they all contain an ADC?
No, so we're actually scaling the family. So some of our customers is looking for a real low-cost starting point. Some customers is looking for the complete integration, and others a mixture. It has to be said that the family of products is really geared towards this starting entry point around $4.50. And then it scales all the way up depending on the complexity of the part.
Okay. So what are the 3 variants? How do you differentiate them?
So we differentiate them with one which has the core. It has, of course, the interfaces. So it's standard interfaces like CAN, serial ports, removable storage interface. The other part of the family also integrate flash. So now we have 4 megabyte of flash. And finally, the full-blown member of the family actually incorporate the 12-bit ADC converter, which really is, let's say, best in class 12-bit. So it's true 12-bit conversion, and it's a 2 megasample converter.
Okay. Now I understand in the long term, you're likely to flesh out this family with different types of converters. What's the upper and lower variants you could possibly get? And what sort of time period are we talking? So
to be fair, it links back to our design center in Limerick predominantly. Mm-hmm. But the way we've structured this is to open flexibility. It's really to enable our customer, I'll say in the 500 kilo sample to potentially 5-10 mega sample at a 12-14 bit range. But there really isn't any concrete barrier here. It's just the design methodology and use.
And will the tools allow them to experiment with the different types of converters before the devices are available?
So the tools itself, as I've been through, is a development platform. It's an ease of use in regards to getting started. It really depends on which component is used. By evaluating different converters, we will use different flavor of the tools, but it has to be linked to the dedicated product.
Okay. When you talk about motor control, there's a lot of people entered this market and they've done so with very good development tools and off the shelf and building systems. Now you're bragging about your ecosystem that you're setting up. How is that being brought into place, and what does that encompass?
Yeah, so I think we're taking it a bit differently here. We're taking a step to it with an approach of we offer performance, which is not seen before. We offer quality on the converter, which is not seen before. And we actually offer with the tool set a scalable platform. So there's one twist to that, because you need to have tools from a software level. And we are teaming up with vendors like MathWorks to actually offer their real-time workshop capability linked directly to our tools. And then, of course, a flavor of vendors on a hardware perspective, which really deliver supplies for, let's say, a motor control, standard motor control, one for a servo drive, one for a PV inverter, and others for UPSs. And it really mixes the value, the configuration, which our partners is going to offer, directly geared toward the end customer.
And you've tied up with people who've already got experience in those areas.
Yes.
Okay.
So we are working with partners who predominantly live on doing these type of designs, because then we know that they will be successfully deploying a system in real life.
And how is this sort of ecosystem going to expand in the coming months?
So I'd say over the coming years, it's probably expanding. It's constantly expanding because we see challenges among the customers. They are coming to us asking for additional advice. We are helping them deploying new members of our ecosystem, families, partners that actually deploy solutions. So I think there is really no stopping of the ecosystem around Blackfin. It's just a matter of what does our customer want and how can we help them close those challenges.
Now, we've talked a bit about the speed of the device. Why do motor control people need additional speed on their controllers?
So it's a very good question. To be fair, they don't. They don't need the speed today to spin the motor. However, if we want to look into what is becoming more demanding by legislation, regulation, mostly around the efficiency and the way to enhance your way of controlling the machines, you need superior processors. So we are giving a 400 megahertz device. The other aspect to it is time to market. So most of our customers is looking at an easier way to adopt their systems, not just using assembler or a low-level C, but really going potentially into graphical domain of coding these devices. And this is what we know and believe is the future for our processors.
Okay, and the devices will allow them to run more algorithms, do more control, do more analysis on the fly?
Yes. So being able to, for example, have multiple observers, different controllers running at the same time of instant on a real-time control, allow potentially different modeling of the plant, different model of the controller that allows, let's say, potentially efficiency enhancement, or at least different performance increase in regards to the real-time controller.
How are you allowing people to interface with the power component manufacturers?
So of course, analog devices do not offer things like IGBTs or MOSFET today. I think what we're doing is we're teaming it through our partnership in the ecosystem, because we have not selected, let's say, a favorable partner among the power devices which we're going to work with. We use the development tool, which is the platform, which is our development platform linked to the third parties and the partners we're working with. The power side is really depending on how does this given customer want to play.